This is episode 197 of Zen and the Art of Real Estate Investing with my guest, Michael Drew. Michael is a coach and mentor, of course, in the real estate investing space. He's also the CEO of Real Estate Done For You, where he's helped hundreds of investors from all over the world reach their retirement goals by investing in rental real estate with cash, IRAs, mortgages, and 1031 exchanges. Michael, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jonathan Green. I'm telling you, I want you to announce my child's lacrosse game or something. That's
Yeah, people say it. I mean, at 197 episodes, I've really got this like podcast voice going. I don't know if maybe I talk like this in my regular life. I'm not sure. At lunch today, maybe I'll have to ask if that is. But I'm excited to have you on the show and go into your background. And interesting to you, which is similar to me, like I played with a lot of stocks when I was younger as well. When you were younger, which was the thing that you came to first in terms of what you liked, stocks or real estate?
Absolutely stocks.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I was born and raised in Chicago. And so the cool guys were the IBM guys or the guys walking down the street on the way to the Board of Trade, on the way to Chicago Board of Options Exchange, the Mercantile. And that was supposed to be the plan. All I had to do is get a little bit better at math and I should be able to crush souls until reality hit.
Yeah. And I mean, like for me, my dad just kind of like, he said, here's some money, invest in stocks. And there was no internet back then. So I would read through the stocks in the newspaper, like box scores on baseball, which I read every single one also. And then I would try to figure out like, hey, what's going up? What's going down? What do I like? And that's how I learned about it. And then I think slowly I started to watch, my dad was of course in real estate. I watched him do real estate. And for me, I started to realize like, well, that's more value add. Like I can actually do something with, I still like stocks, but what if I can have an impact on this? When did you see that as the differentiator in terms of, tangible, non-tangible assets?
Well, it's funny you say that. We're I don't want to date this episode, but we have a presidential election.
Happening. Yeah, right. We are recording on November 4th, so it's coming up.
And you actually can. There's a company, it begins with a K, Kalshi, that you can bet on the presidents.
I know. It's crazy.
That, right? And so I'm answering your question the long way, but and then also about 5 years ago, I learned how to play blackjack because you should know a little bit about a lot. Play a little golf, play a little this. Should know a little bit of blackjack. So you can do everything right in blackjack, which is you stand on 20 and then the dealer gets 21 and you lose all your money.
Yeah.
And that was my experience in stocks. I did the right thing and lost money. And I'm a little competitive by nature. And I'm like, this isn't fun.
Yeah.
I did it right.
And you had no control over that, at all. It's just gone. Yeah.
Right. And so luckily my dad took $1,500 from me in 7th grade. And it went through, I'm 50 something years old, like early 50s. So I lost some money. And he said, that's what to expect in the stock.
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, okay.
What was the first real estate asset that you bought or invested in and found interesting?
Well, thanks for asking. And I'm big into copying success. So I kind of smart enough to know that I'm dumb, meaning, hey, if you've already done, 15 of these transactions, I'm going to take you out to lunch, buddy, and literally it was in Burbank, California. It was a 2-bedroom house. I bought it for an insane amount of money. We flipped it, way overspent on rehab. I got a mortgage on it, paid juice on it, paid this on it. I think I basically, broke even on it. And my buddy who had tons of experience said, well, sometimes it works like that. I'm like, wow, okay.
Yeah. Did you feel like you got good education out of it though? Because a lot of us who flipped over the years, even doing it so long, sometimes you just hit a weird one, where the town screws with you and it takes longer. It's just part of the process and you try your best not to lose. So then when you win big, you're like, wow, crush this one.
Right. And then I started, I used to be embarrassed the fact that I only went to 2 years of college. And I said, well, wait a second. So did Michael Dell and he's doing okay. And so I just had this thought that I'm just going to outwork you. Okay. Good for you. You could afford college. I started companies in college. And so I'm just going to outwork you. And so, from my experience, I would just, when I found somebody successful, I was the guy that read the book, asked questions about the book, signed up for the coaching, did the whole 9 yards. And I remember a mentor of mine said, if you can learn something in 3 weeks or 3 months, it's pathetic to learn it over 3 years or 30 years.
Yeah.
So pay the money, and and that's what I did, and it worked out pretty well.
How did you decide that you wanted to do this kind of done for you principle? Did you just want to make things easier for people because you saw it as like, hey, I know you because you have 4 kids. You're like, hey, this is just my this will be easier for everybody.
You know what? Exactly what happened is that when I was 31 years old, my dad, who served in our country's military, actually on the USS Midway, which is now a museum in San Diego.
Yes.
He passed away. And then I was like the financial kid. My parents had 2 kids. My sister was great. Just I'm a little bit more, it's my aptitude. And so I originally I put my dad's money, which is my mom's inherited IRA, in the stocks. You just need to have a certain variance in stocks. It goes up and down. And she's like, I only want to make money. I don't want to lose money, which is valid for a 60-year-old person to say, right?
Yeah.
Because there wasn't.
That's why I don't even look at my stocks. I just look at the year and see how much am I up. That's all I care about.
Right. And so what we ended up doing is we ended up having my mom buy real estate inside the IRA.
Yeah.
Okay. So that would be my dad's old 401k. And we went through that, and through a couple other different arrangements, it ended up doing very, very well for my mom. My mom didn't really know the houses, know the tenants. She didn't need to.
Yeah.
We just helped her out with rent every month. And then someone I remember, I share this story in I used to do seminars for Rich Dad Poor Dad. And I did a seminar there, and they're like, and the lady raised her hand and said, "Can I be your mom?" I said, "Wait a second here. There could be a business
idea coming here." Yeah.
Right. And I said, and at that time, I think I had 9 houses or something like that. Indianapolis, Rich Dad, Robert Kiyosaki really liked that market a lot.
Yeah.
And so I heard the other speakers talking about these markets where it's, it just passes all the tests with, it's 700 miles from 2/3 of America, lots of universities nearby, all the numbers work, low insurance, low property taxes, all the numbers work. And so I said, let's see how this goes. And I think we grew to 150 doors under management in a couple of years. We became new home builders, and then the retail market sped up a little bit. So we actually kind of gave that to the retail division. And then before you knew it, we were at 700 doors under management. And and it just worked out so well because almost 50% of our business is repeat or referral.
I always ask people this with a business because I think it's so important, because it's never everybody, as you were just saying. So for real estate done for you, who's your ideal avatar? Like, who's walking to, making that first contact and you're like, oh, you're a perfect fit for this.
Right. It was like, you have done a great job in contextualizing people. Obviously, we believe in real estate, but you do it with such a common sense thing. You were like, if we were to debate someone, we would probably win in our own minds, right? But if someone's contextualized, and they could be, 30 to 60 years old, their age is not super important.
Yeah.
But they, like I said before, is they do have to take action. And it's not whether the house is yellow or green or blue or tan. It's really the concept that makes sense. So here's where it doesn't work out, where someone's like, well, I wouldn't live there. Well, your dream car isn't a Camry. That's not the point of it.
Yeah.
That's not the point of this. The point is the machine. I actually do enjoy when people come to town. In fact, I'll buy their plane tickets. I tell people, as long as we're not wasting each other's time, come on in, jump in the truck, we'll share a meal together and see the operation.
Yeah.
And 9 times out of 10, they're like, it's better than I thought. I haven't been to Indianapolis a lot, but Rich Dad taught me to go in that mid-tier market where you're not in New York, you're not in LA for the expense. You're right in that mid-tier where, like, we just had Taylor Swift come in and she filled the Lucas Oil Stadium with 80,000 people for 3 days in a row.
And there was probably, 500,000 on the wait list. So, yeah.
Right. Tickets were $1,500 to $4,000 and they're sold out.
Yeah.
I'm like, all right.